What a 24 hours it has been for the city of Milan regarding where they both now stand in the table and the gap that it's been created over the defending champions. Let's not forget Juventus, of course, losing yesterday and also getting 3 points taken off as their game with Napoli will have to be played at some stage next year. What that means is that wins for both Milan and Inter today put them first and second. A nice little gap now being created between them and the chasing pack. Roma move up to third after their win against Cagliari. Sassuolo in fourth. Napoli, meanwhile, dropping points in fifth. Juve down in sixth. Jurgen Klinsmann and Gab Marcotti here to discuss the games. Jurgen, I want to start with you. Milan, 2-0 up, looked fine. Then Lazio get it back to 2-2. And in the end, Hernandez, the hero, with a late winner. If Milan are going to win the league, I tell you what, this could be a defining match.
Yeah, I think it showed the spirit of this team right now. They are really fighting for each other. They're believing in each other, and they go all the way until the very end. I think it was an exciting game with Milan, clearly the better side, the first half an hour. But then Lazio got better into the game. Eventually, they equalized with a beautiful goal from Immobile. And then I think there was a crucial moment when Inzaghi took off Milinkovic-Savic and Immobile. And kind of the whole game went back towards the Milan side, and they created chances. Rebic had some very good chances the last 10, 15 minutes, and eventually they got the winner through Hernandez. Exciting match. It gives them a huge boost, and I'm very, very happy that at the same time, at least Inter won as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about Inter in a moment, Gab. This was a great game for Milan, and a game they thoroughly deserved to win.
Yeah, I definitely think they thoroughly deserve to win. But again, you see the character. You know, I don't want to bore everybody with the absentees, but they're playing this game without Simon Carr at the back. They're playing it without their starting midfield of Benacer and Frank Kessie, and they're playing it without some guy named Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And they're playing into Lazio side who've come off a great result, who battle back to 2-2. When you've got all these young players, you know, that supposedly when the heads drop and whatever, especially when they gave up that absolutely hokey penalty, which Immobile, after missing, later converted. But no, they just keep going and they keep coming. And as Jurgen said, they took advantage of the change to really go and, I thought, batter them at the end. And they were rewarded with that Theo Hernandez goal. And, you know, if that guy isn't one of the world's top 5 left backs right now, I don't know who is.
Oh, my goodness, he's been sensational this season. Gab mentioned the penalty, Jurgen. It was extremely soft, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think the decision was right. Yeah, I mean, he missed that opportunity in that moment. But I think you got to give Lazio a lot of credit throughout the game. They had a good presence. They were even in most of the time. But I think that substitution in the second half and around minute 70 with taking Milinkovic-Savic off and Immobile off gave them a kind of a signal to AC Milan to go for it again, and they started to create more chances. Could have scored earlier than that goal from Hernandez, but at the end of the day, they really deserved the win, and they're up there on the table of the league, which is very, very exciting for every Milan fan.
Just talk us through how important belief is amongst this squad, amongst title winners, Jurgen. You've been there and you've done that. How does that momentum affect you going forward?
It has a huge part in winning a championship and winning anything. You know, it is the even if they are top class of the obviously athletes, very well paid, and they all have the goal to win trophies. But you need a special spirit. You need a special chemistry within the entire group in a team to make things happen. And it seems that Pioli found this recipe. He found a way to kind of get along really well with his players. You can see it when they celebrate a goal. You could see it at the end when they had the winning goal. But over the last months, you could see that there's something growing at AC Milan that is very powerful. And if they keep believing, if they have this drive, if they have this inner hunger all together, then you can, as Gabriel mentioned, you know, do you add then Zlatan Ibrahimovic to the mix? You add Kjaer to the mix, and the other ones that are still missing right now, then you have a team that can definitely win the championship, the Scudetto.
Over previous seasons, Gab, when we've seen Juve drop points, we've seen those who are chasing title contenders also drop points, almost falling over themselves not to win it. What was striking today, of course, not only the victory for Milan, but Inter as well, winning away against Verona.
Yeah, and we talked about how, maybe with the fact that, they're out of Europe, Antonio Conte has decided to change the way they play in Serie A. This is a team that's sitting a lot deeper, trying to hit on the counter, trying to use those wide spaces ahead of Lautaro, ahead of Hakimi and Lukaku. On this occasion, we even saw him start Perisic, effectively almost like Perisic and Lautaro behind Lukaku. Kind of look in the position that guy Christian Eriksen was supposed to play. And, it worked to a point. Verona, I think, are a really, really good side. Inter, again, they had to dig deep to go and get the result. At 2-0, when Verona pulled one back, all of a sudden, it looked like they might be at 6s and 7s and concede. They didn't. They get the 3 points. With Inter, though, you're always worried about, how will the off-the-pitch issues affect you. We saw Conte a few days ago start talking about how he needs to get together with the club and see if they're all on the same page and they match his ambition, which basically means, give me more money to spend on old Premier League players. And we also had the most striking thing as well, which, Marotta coming out and saying, oh yeah, Christian Eriksen, no, we're definitely going to sell him because he's not functional to this team. Which again is another way of saying Conte doesn't know what to do with a guy, so let's cash in on him. And when you put a for sale player on somebody, obviously it's a lot harder to get substantial money back for him, especially when he's also on an enormous contract like Eriksen.
7 straight league wins, Jurgen, then for Inter. How impressed have you been with them?
From the point of view, very impressive. Obviously, 7 wins in a row is outstanding. Looking at the individual games, they're still kind of lacking a little bit the excitement in all of that because he's obviously more defensive-minded approach to it. Even today, it was a slow pace. It was Hellas Verona never really challenged them much, even if they tactically played it the right way, but they never really created any chances to put into problems. At the end of the day, they could have added a 3rd or a 4th goal. But obviously, 7 games in a row is great. Obviously, the issues off the field, they need to be addressed and they need to be solved. I think they will be solved. If Giuseppe Marotta says really something like that about Eriksen, then it's a clear message. He's going to solve that in January. They're going to find a team for him if that's what they want. I actually like that approach because it's straightforward. It's honest. Sometimes things just don't match. And if it's the case with Eriksen and Antonio Conte, then go face to face and talk about it and solve it, move on. I think it's normal that players sometimes in certain environments don't feel comfortable, don't feel happy, and then address it and move on. I think, they're in a very good position right now, obviously with the fact that Juventus is a little bit behind. It's an exciting season in Serie A, there's no doubt about it, but I think still in the first part of the season, a couple of surprising results will happen in the next couple of weeks. So it keeps us on our toes.
It's great for the neutral, isn't it, Ali? Who wins it? Who's your money on?
Inter. And I don't trust Inter.
Well, so what are you backing them?
But then again, I don't trust anybody else in this league. And it's wide open because you have a lot of teams that are
untrustworthy.
Yeah, they're good teams sometimes, but at times they can look very average. And that allows for all of this nonsense to kind of come about. The Milan story is a great story, but are they really an excellent team? Are they really a fantastic team, outstanding? No, I don't think so. They're working well together, and they've been able to withstand the absence of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which is absolutely fantastic for them on the moment. As for Juventus, in years past, there was a certainty about Juventus that even when they lost a game or maybe they dropped a point here and there was a certainty that this team was going to be there and they were going to run away with this and they were going to win it. That certainty is gone. And it's gone not only from the outside looking in, but I think that certainty is also gone inside Juventus. They themselves don't really trust that they're going to win games every time they step on the field. And you see it on the performances, you see it on the results, you see it on individual performances, and you see it as a group. This team right now is in trouble. And they've been in trouble for a while. Now you're starting to see the results that are trending in the wrong direction. And I'm not sure that they turn it around.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.